one fight you waited and waited and waited, and for whatever reason, maybe there is reason, didn't want to get in the ring with you with Canelo. At this point in your career and what happened with Crawford, is that fight dead? I mean, is that 100% dead at this point?
I don't think it's 100% dead. To be honest with you, until Canelo retires, I think that fight is always going to be looming. That fight makes sense. It makes sense in every way that happens. So in my head, it's not going to not happen, because even if we wait another 3 years, it's still going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing. You know what I mean? But also Canelo knows that I'm not playing games with him. I'm not playing games with anybody. If anything, he knows that this fight between me and him is inevitable, and when it happens, it's going to be like an Oscar De La Hoya versus Chavez. So, in my opinion, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be an option, but I'm not really focused on that myself. I'm focused on Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, Surdo Ramirez, and anything else that comes after that. You know what I mean? And then after those fights get done, maybe that's when the time is going to be perfect to make the Canelo fight.
I was going to ask you about Zurdo. He's coming off a hand injury. I think Eric Gomez said last week here in Fort Worth for Boots or Virgil Erickson that he should be ready first quarter. Is that a possibility? I know you've sparred with him, but for next year, you think you might get him in the ring?
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's looking like. First things first, we got to take care of business next Saturday. But like I said, I'm just trying to make the biggest fights happen. I have 100% confidence in myself that I could beat anybody here at 175 and at cruiserweight. So if I'm able to get an opportunity to fight, Surdo Ramirez next for 2 more titles, like you said, I'm a legacy fighter. There's no way in hell I'm going to turn down a two title fight in the cruiserweight division. So that's definitely something that looks like it can manifest itself. But, first things first, we take care of Anthony Yarde. And if we could get that next year, that's exactly what we're going to go into.
Going back to Canelo real quick, but not really Canelo, Crawford, were you surprised of his performance? And is he now on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, I knew Crawford would be able to give Canelo a fight like that. To be honest with you, it just looked like Canelo thought that he was going to knock him out with one shot, and it didn't look like he prepared for that. It was 2 different stories. It looked like an arrogant fighter who doesn't prepare, that thinks he's going to knock the smaller fighter out with one shot, and it looks like the other fighter, it's the hardest training camp he's ever had in his life. He put everything into that fight, so it was a fight of 2 stories. You know what I mean? So the fighter that was more dedicated, the fighter that worked the hardest, was the one who won. And I definitely put Crawford on my Mount Rushmore because he went up. Was it 3 weight classes, 2 weight classes?
Yeah.
And then, that's unheard of, you know what I mean? So I definitely give him the respect he deserves, and he definitely is. He was already an all-time great, but now he's definitely all-time great Hall of Famer.